All right, so I'm going to run a couple things that I normally do in this game. Just kind of recording some stuff. So these are some of the amps I sell. They sell pretty often. To show you how often, there's 5.6K PED per day, and that is $560 a day worth of sales or so. So it's like $2,500 a week. So they've been selling a lot more. But yeah, it's basically, this is a real cash economy game. So it's basically the players make up the economy with their deposits. So anything, all the ammo, all the loot, everything has a value that's tied to the dollar that you put in. So if you put in money and buy ammo, the loot you get back has a value that you got out of the ammo. So that, kind of relationship always stays together. Pretty much anything in the game is part of the economy. And then, there is a way to withdraw the money. And when you do that, then then of course you're taking it out of the economy, but you're usually selling things, buying things, and pretty much the whole name of the game is markups. So like this 119%. So the value of this amp is 255 PED, which is 25.50 in dollars, and then the markup on it is 119%. So I could sell it for $30.40 or 304 PED, and that's the markup that I get when I sell it. And then I'm kind of like the Walmart, I don't know. Kind of my tactics I've built over the years is, you're working with an economy and an auction system. You've got a lot of demand of different products. And just to kind of show you just how crazy it is, like these are all the different blueprints that I have. So to show you, it's like 224 pages times, what is it? I think it's 15. Did they change it? 5, 10, 15. So 8. Why did they do 18 per page? That's weird. So anyway, there's, a few thousand. 1,800 times 2, so that's 34. Wait, is that right? 36? Plus another couple. So there might be 3,800 different things that I can make here. And then like this is the main part of the auction is through the system, but there's a bunch of different planets. So that's the other thing, is it's not just one place. Like there's this, and then there's space, and so like this is the planet we're on here, and then there's all these other planets, and each planet has its own auction system. So if we go to Rocktropia, there's some stuff for sale there. And you notice the markup is a little higher because it's off the main planet that we're on. So there's a lot of different opportunities to buy and sell things between planets for a little bit of a squeeze. So for example, if I sold mine at 304 and somebody bought it, they could basically make $1.40 off of that. That's not bad. If you could flip those around, I mean, that's like $3 just for going and moving stuff between planets. And you can either have a warp ship like me. I've got a warp ship of my own. If I could find it here. That's not my personal storage, is it? Like this is my own warp ship, and I won this in an event for really cheap. They're normally around $5,000. I won mine for about $1,600 in ammo and some time in that event. But there's this, and then there's also bigger warp ships that people can use. Let's see if they have any vehicles. No, they don't have any for sale right now. but they're bigger ships, and I used to have one. But you can have a bunch of people on them. There's like repair stations, so you can go out and hunt, and the pilot can go get pilot skills. The repair people can get repair skills. Skills all have a value for your time in this game. So there's, for example, skill implants. If you look here in the category, there's, if we go to Calypso, these are all different skills. So if you wanted to boost up your skills to use a certain weapon, you could just come to the auction and buy skills from people. And for example, in fact, I think I've got a couple. I just listed some skills yesterday. So like pyrokinesis. This basically, what was it? It cost me 125 for the chip. And then so the base value is 125 that I spent to get the chip to put the skill onto, but so that's basically got 65 ped of skill, or $6 of skill on this, and it took out 6 points, I believe. And I've got, just to show you how crazy, I've got 28,105, and it took out 6 of those points for $6. So you could see how crazy, like, just this skill alone, if I sold all of this, it's thousands and thousands of dollars. And that's pretty much what I've been doing the last couple years, is I'll sell, because I make this skill with my setup. I make this skill faster than anybody else. So that's kind of the benefit, is that's how I kind of designed my avatar, is that it gains the skills faster and at such an efficient level that I never really lose. But it takes a lot of trial and error to figure out what works, what doesn't work. I built a program that basically analyzed all this stuff and helped me decide what works, what doesn't. And at this point, I haven't deposited in years. It's pretty much just self-sufficient, runs on its own. So, yep, let me see here. Oh, there's this dude. Make sure we're... All right, so I listed that amp just to kind of show you. This, like I say, there's all this. There's blueprints. There's clothing. I've made so much crazy money on clothing, virtual clothes. It's not even funny. I mean, it's so weird. It's just weird. I personally, I don't even spend as much. I've never spent as much money on clothes as I've made on virtual clothes in this game. Probably my whole life. That's how crazy it is. And but yeah, there's everything. There's weapons, there's housing stuff, there's materials to make things. That's most of my thing is construction. Is crafting stuff. I've got all the blueprints, so I could pretty much pick whatever market I want. A lot of these are, some limited blueprints I've got, but I've also got a lot of the well, if I filter this out to go blueprint unlimited. So I've got pages and pages of blueprints that I've already, it takes a lot of money and a lot of time and to build these up to 100%, which gives you the best success rate. It's not 100% success, but it's about as close as you're going to get, and it's the most profit you're going to be able to get if you have these. It really helps to have a high quality blueprint. So as you can see, I've just got so many that are up there from over the years of just crafting all this different stuff. And I usually craft for markup. I don't like to craft things and waste it. So like all my enhancers, most of this is off my own use for the last 10 years. I started these blueprints off really low. And I just use them for my own needs. I'll sell them every once in a while, and they are a good market to sell, but I need more space for amps usually on the auction, because there's only so much space on the auction. So there's better markup things that I can pick usually. But that's kind of the name of the game, is markup, is what I was getting at this whole time. This guy had a kid. That's awesome. Dude's holding his baby. So I'll fly out. I've got to fly to. I've got to go fly. And one thing is space there is lootable, so you got to be careful with some stuff because people will loot your shit, and it's real money. So you got to take it serious. I've only gotten really hit once, and it was my own fault because it was these pills that have value, and I forgot about them, and somebody came and took them. I think, yeah, I've got pills there. Like, these aren't lootable, which is why I confused them, but those are, so it's shitty. So anyway, you want to make sure that all your loot is stored away just in case. Like I say, I've never really had a problem with it. I've been shot down a few times, but most of the time I'm pretty careful with my loot. Yeah, I don't think I need anything else. If I do, I will. I forget to change this stuff around. I've been too busy. I haven't really been playing much, so my shop is in shambles. I haven't really filled any of the auction there. I don't remember what I've got over there. And then my land, I've got some people saying, hey man, fill your land up so I can kill things. All right, so we got space. So this is basically space, and it's telling you, your lootable PvP. So this is a space station. That's originally why I got in the game. There was a guy that owned this called Never Die, and he made the paper. He mortgaged his house to buy this. He ended up making hundreds of thousands of dollars off of it. So that's kind of why I got into the game, because I thought it was interesting, because I've always been in real estate. And I thought, virtual property, what the hell? But yeah, that's why I got into the game, is that. Or no, that's not it. That was... It's this little asteroid. That was a different one that Buzz Lightyear owned as a guy. That one actually, I think I have shares in it. And see this red triangle here? That is a pirate. So now I need to figure out how the fuck I... warp, because it's been so long. guy's telling me about a new backpack or something. There's always new items people get excited about. I don't really get too excited anymore. Got cool bonuses. I was actually thinking, I wonder what the rare... See, it says 1% mining rares, and this one's 25% mining rares, and it doesn't really make a difference. That I can tell. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's not true on Arc. Mining is good, and here mining is pretty good too, but it's not really rares that I find with my stuff, so... I get used to these keys. They changed the UI not too long ago, so I don't know. I had to change up my keys again. But this is Rocktropia, so this is the planet that I own, island. My own island. So this here is the island. And this is what I've got to refill, and it's going to probably look ugly. Alright, so I need to figure out, let me see here, what I've got. Yeah, I've got all kinds of shit here still. Don't seem to have fertilizer. I'm going to have to buy it. At 2.5%. And yeah, I have no. So I'm going to need some fertilizer. But yeah, this is my island. It's kind of empty right now. We're going to go change that. Kind of show how that's done. The island pays out, if it's over $5 a day, it'll pay. And then you can get it daily. And I've gotten up to, hundreds of dollars a day. Just depends on how you're working it or if you're doing events, that kind of thing. Crazy. I'll have to look at this. Yeah, I've got these just been building up. It's like $25 in dividend revenues basically in these. So these are different. This is for the planet of Calypso, or half of it. This is for that first station that I showed you in space. This is for an island on the other main planet we were at, another island. And then this is on a different planet called Next Island. Oh, yeah. So they already sold this planet. So this was owned by Never Die. And apparently they made a bunch of deeds. And they've already sold them out, which is interesting. So basically, this is a way for him to cash out and sell, even though apparently I think he bought a bunch back, which kind of makes sense. But it was a way for him to cash out. Oh, I don't have sufficient funds for that. So let's buy, we'll go with 10. Whatever. We'll see how they do. Interesting. So I guess they pre-split all the deeds, so they didn't actually sell out of them. They just distributed all the deeds, and it's up to the people who hold, which is an interesting way to do it, because they were having, like this one that they listed, they were having a hard time on, like, or this one here still is having a hard time unloading. They've still got half of the deeds available for that one, and that's been a couple years now. So that one's always kind of struggled out. It's never sold out. The rest of these, though, sell out pretty quick. But yeah, that's really interesting. So I guess I own part of the planet now, too. But what am I doing here? What am I doing? I'm doing fertilizer. And I need to ship it. And I'll do that. And then when you're doing planets, you can do it to where, because it's so heavy, it costs a bunch. Like if I want it right now, it costs 35 ped, but if I want to wait 12 hours, it's only 11. So I'll do that. And the reason it's better to actually buy it and pay this fee, usually, I mean, I could ferry it back and forth, but my ship has a weight restriction of 150 kilograms. And I just bought, what was that, 1100? This is at 66 kilograms. So it's like, I don't know, 400 kilograms of crap that you'd have to back and forth. Or I could get a bigger ship and do it, but I don't like messing with that. I'd just rather pay it's such a small fee compared to what it makes. So in 12 hours, I'll get the fertilizer delivered here, and then I can put it into the land, and then that should be it. Yeah. So do a little customer service. I just got shit sitting here all over the place. But the other thing I should probably do is I might as well. Yeah, we're going to go to hell. Make sure I got some. Well, I got ammo, so that don't matter. So there's mining on the planet, and then there's mining indoors like this. And mining indoors is kind of almost like gambling if you don't know what you're doing, because you're not going to find as much, but they're going to be much bigger claims. So you kind of need to know what you're looking for and what you're going to get. But I'm going to use up some of the, I've got some half-used amps. And mining is boring as shit. I hate mining. Because this is it. You run around. There's basically each drop is a sphere. And then there's a certain distance that you run in between drops. When it's indoors, the distance is halved of your finder. So you have to drop more often to really kind of get the whole zone. But yep. And I come in here because it's got growth. And it's got God, I forgot what else. Oh, iron. I was working a couple blueprints with iron, and the iron mission here. There's missions for mining. There's missions for hunting. It's not a whole lot of crafting missions, but there's some. But as you can see, like that's a 200 pet amp. And then we've got the one claim at 96. So if we don't get another claim within the rest of this, then we lost like $10. And then like those level 12 amps that I sell, that's a $25 amp or 30 when you pay for it. And it's the same thing. You pretty much can drop one of those in the time that I just dropped this. So they go really quick. So that's why they sell so much. It's because people will buy 10 of them and just run them all the way through. Kind of like what I'm doing. Use that little last drop. Wait, I don't want to do. Let's do this big boy. We got level 11. There we go. Level 13 is the highest one. And basically there's this efficiency is basically like a multiplier. So the game works on there's a lot of like multipliers and how it does its math, but that basically multiplies your claim not by 25 times, but it multiplies it by a certain amount. And then each amp is different. So if you have a bigger amp, it's going to be a bigger multiplication. And then just going around, if you just have like normal, every once in a while you'll hit a big one without anything going on. But if you were to have an amp on it, then it becomes like a super big one, which is, there's been some in the $20,000 range of just hitting a claim, like doing this, and all of a sudden $20,000. Boom. Almost like that, but that's not even close to. Not even close. But that is what I want. That's the growth I'm looking for. So that works. And then that's like 176. So we're still down a little bit on this amp. So you can even get like a big hit like that and a big sparkles, and it doesn't really mean that you're winning, because if I don't get another one, that's a loss on the amp. If I get another one, it'll be a win. And it'll usually hit me another one, but not always. So there we are. We're over. This amp is a winner, but it's almost dead. It's probably dead in, like 1 or 2 more drops. So they don't last very long, but as a crafter, it's actually really, really nice because you make them all day long at $5 a pop. And you can make a couple $100 a day just sitting there to craft a machine. And that's what I did for the longest time. Just, and there was a couple years where the economy was a lot better. Like maybe 10 years ago, things were really hopping in this game to where you could, I was literally filling the auction, coming back an hour later, filling the auction, coming back an hour later, filling the auction. It was just ridiculous how much sales I had on some things. And that's pretty much where all this stuff comes from, is just crafting things, and then I buy something I thought was cool, and then before you know it, I have all kinds of shit. But yeah, so this the boring part. I'm gonna end the thing, but you kind of get the gist of what the thing is. Have a good day.